All right. Hey, welcome everybody. Hi, welcome to the Orange County Real Estate Update March 2020 recap. Just going to kind of go over some important information over, um, what's been happening in the real estate market, specifically in Orange County, California. But it's kind of an indicator of a lot of other things as well. And so, let's just kind of dive right into it. Okay, so, oops, uh oh. Well, that's interesting. Oh, you know what? I know what I do. I'm using a new streaming software. There we go. That does it. Okay. Using a new streaming software, just testing some things out. So bear with me. Okay. Anyways, we've got articles like this. Sell now. Real estate guru warns housing market collapses coming. These U.S. housing markets are most vulnerable to a coronavirus downturn. Redfin furloughs 41 of its real estate agents. My God, what is going on here? What in the world can happen? But let's take a look here. Really, let's get a good grasp on what's going on, because a lot of times, these articles and headlines are designed very specifically to get you excited or worried about doing your whether you should buy or sell, and panic and all that good stuff. And in the end of the day, they just want to sell headlines. I mean, sell viewers and subscriptions and whatever. So don't take that into account. Also, the other thing to consider is that all these places, they are national. They're reporting on a national level, and you guys know in Orange County we have a unique little area. We kind of really are our own little bubble that we live in. So, anyways, let's take a look here. So for March, we're basically, let me just kind of give you an understand. We're looking at the source that I use for all of Orange County. Okay, so we're not narrowing it down by bedrooms or baths or type of property, even for that matter. Just kind of get a general overview, snapshot of what we got going on here. So if we're looking at sales prices, and we're looking at the median sales price for March, ending of March 2020, median sales price is $747,500. Okay, and you can see over the last 3 years, that's the highest it's been. That is the highest it's been. And we know that the market has been going up and up and up, and people worry about a crash because of that. They say, man, the prices are going up, and they can't sustain that and that sort of thing. And while, yeah, I agree, it makes it difficult for affordability. Fewer and fewer people can afford to buy a house. But with regard to a crash, unlike 2008, 2007, 2008, and for several years that followed that, the big issue there was the mortgage-backed securities. It had to do with people getting loans that really, genuinely, they could not afford. They could not afford those loans. Now, with the coronavirus thing going on and everything, it's going to be tough for some people who are used to making, a lot of money every month to pay mortgages for properties that are in the median price range of $747,000. To collect enough money to keep that sustained. But also with the banks doing deferrals or forbearances on payments. Sometimes for some people it's 3 months, it's 6 months, it's 12 months. I've heard, is what they were shooting for in some cases. But we know that the banks aren't liking that whole concept. They're just not liking it at all. And so, anyways, we're $747,500 as a median home sale price, which is still up in March. Keep in mind, the beginning of March started out, just like every other March. It was about the middle of March. I'll show you the numbers here in a minute. Is when the whole coronavirus thing came in. Fewer people were putting it on the market. Fewer people were were buying and that sort of thing. But still, nevertheless, still ended up at one of the highest median home sale prices for at least over the last 3 years. So let's take a look at months supply. So this is so if we follow along here and you just kind of look, you always see it's always about December when we hit the bottom peak. And if I spread this out more over, let's say look at 5 years, you'll see every December it's always at the bottom, because fewer people are putting their homes on the market in October, November, December, just because the holidays and we got to get through all that. And so you see that's kind of the case here too. Same thing. It comes down December. We only have 1.9 months of inventory, and same thing in January. But at the end of March, it's back up to 2.3 months of inventory. What does months of inventory mean? It basically means if we didn't put any new homes on the market, we did not list a single new home anywhere in Orange County by anyone, it would take about 2.3 months to sell all the remaining homes based on the current rate at which they're selling. And so this is a good thing here. 2.3%, months of inventory. It's still pretty low, right? You go over here and it was like almost 4 months, and whatnot. And if you go into your typical March, you're at 2.5, 2.3, okay. Where we at? 2.8 back in 2016. So we're not, if we had a glut of properties on the market right now, that number would be really high, and we'd be at 3.9%, which would be an indicator that now there's a huge problem with more demand than there is buyers on it. But homes are still selling right now. We're still selling homes. Let's look at days on market. So average days on market right now is about 38 days. That's still pretty darn good. That is still pretty darn good if you take a look at historically, where we've been at. Little peak right here in middle of 2000 or end in middle of 2019. But yeah, I mean, this is about where it's at, because traditionally, at least over the last few years, we've had a pretty low inventory, low number of homes that are being sold. You go back to 16, and it was kind of up there a little bit. And I think that had to do with, if I recall, there was a pretty significant rate increase on mortgage loans back then. Not exactly sure, don't remember, but if we look at the median days on market is 13. I've had my math buddies always try to explain to me the reason you use median versus an average, but for something like this, I'm kind of looking at, hey, what's everything, what is everything doing, not just whatever lands in the middle. But you can decide what you would look at. I'm taking a look at it and going, hey, average homes on the market is 38 days. Okay. Let's look at closed volume for March. So again, we're at, what is that? $435,193,108. So $4.4 billion in real estate closed in March. Let's take a look at 19. We do that comparison. Yeah, we're right there. We're trending right along with it for March, even despite the fact that half the month was affected by this coronavirus thing. Okay. Total closed sides, same thing. Let's go here. March, we got 4,770. That's just a hair. 4,770. That's more than we closed in March in 2019. Okay. So when we're looking at articles that say it's all doom and gloom, I don't think so. Again, it's going to depend on how long this all goes. But, with real estate being made an essential service, because people have to still buy and sell houses, people still have to move. I mean, there's just no way around it. And frankly, some people just want to sell right now. Hey, get me out, because we don't know what tomorrow is going to look like, right? Let's see, closed sales. So we had 2,385, which again is more than 2019. Okay, not as much as 2018 or 2017, but but it's right. It's kind of right in there. We knew that was going to be a little bit lower just because of the lower activity, pending sales. Now, this has made a drop. Now again, December is usually the bottom peak. Okay, and again, we would have seen this, and this should have gone boop 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 boop, up. But you can see pending sales has dropped, but that's also dropped in conjunction with active listings. Okay, so if you look at active listings of 5,373, it's in 18 it was about the same. Well, March, or it was considerably higher, and you can see considerably higher. So active listings is dropping just because some people are deciding, well, we don't really need to sell. We're going to hold off. Excuse me. And new listings. So again, this number, if you look historically here, March, it goes up and peaks in the spring season. Spring and just middle of the year in general. But here it's made the downturn that not a lot of people are putting their house on the market. Okay. So again, if we got to go in here and I just got these numbers here, where I want to say, okay, how many homes were listed in April versus, in 2019, the same month, the same day. And you can see a big difference, 213 versus 108. 139 were listed in 2019 on the second, but only 80 here. 203 on the third, but only 83. So you can see the listing volume is definitely dropping, which is going to translate also to the pending and the closed volume as well. But it doesn't mean that people aren't selling, and doesn't mean people aren't getting their price. Because again, if you look at sales price, you see we're still at the 747,500. So anyways, just kind of wanted to give you a little snapshot of that. And, go ahead and put your comments and let me know what you think is going to happen in the real estate market, in Orange County and in your area, wherever you're watching. And, I'd like to hear about that, because everybody is sitting around waiting and, keeping their fingers crossed, and they don't know what's going on, what's going to happen tomorrow. We really don't. But that's okay. It is what it is. There isn't anything that we can do about it to stop that. If you have any questions about getting your home sold, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions any day of the week, anytime, because, well, that's kind of what I do. Okay. So, yeah, so just, feel free to reach out to me. And I'm curious to see how this new streaming software works. You got to play around with new fun things and see what happens. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope, again, this was informative for you. And if it was, great, leave a comment. If not, no sweat. But take care. All right.